Hey guys, Hybrid Toy Reviews here. Battle damage is a cool look on anyone, but no one rocks it better than Darth Vader. This is a figure of Darth Vader based on the final duel in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So awesome that this show is getting the Hasbro representation it deserves. It's a really cool figure. He basically took Obi-Wan's lightsaber right to the face. There's no way to sugarcoat it, and his helmet's all gnarled up. And we see it for about a minute of the show, but that's how you get some of the best Star Wars characters and best action figures. Those really cool brief appearances. I'm super hyped on this. It looks really cool in the box. Let's open it up and see if it's a good addition to the collection. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. This is your standard Star Wars The Black Series fanfare with your new window returning to the line. You have your Black Series logo up top above the window showing Vader and his accessory off nicely. Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi across the front in blue. Darth Vader Duels and Warning 4 Plus Hasbro. This side of the box features Vader in artwork looking excellent. His name down at the bottom. This side features your wraparound window, wraparound blue stripe, Black Series logo around back. You have a zoom in of the artwork on the back. You have the Black Series logo, his name again. You have a bio about Obi-Wan instead of the normal, the Kenobi series is set between this and this, which all the other Kenobi figures have had, so it's cool that they're finally getting bios. Now we're like 2 years in and not spoilers anymore, I suppose. He's number 15 in the Kenobi lineup. A bunch of legal stuff, Disney Hasbro logos. Bottom just has legal stuff and a barcode. Up top has a hanger tab and a window, which lets a little bit of light into the package if you are an inbox collector. I'm not a loser. I open my toys, so without further ado, let's go ahead and open them up, take a look at what you get here. Alright, so here's Duels and Darth Vader out of the packaging, and as always, we'll start by taking a look at the accessories first. He only comes with one, being his lightsaber. Has a very nice red blade, but it's a very dark red. It doesn't really catch the light super well. It's not the brightest red saber they've ever made. To bring in the one that came in with the other Kenobi Vader, because we do have an unbattle damaged one, however, I warn you, I used this one for a custom, but obviously I didn't modify the saber. I mean, it's just a totally different shade. I kind of prefer the older one better, but and we'll do some comparisons with the custom too. But anyway, otherwise I believe it to be the same sculpt for Hilt. Has some very nice paint, a lot of black and silver, accents to it. Looks very nice. The blade unplugs from the Hilt. The Hilt has a D-ring up in the top, and he features a hook on his belt. It just sets on the hook. The hook doesn't really go like super high up, so it's good if you're just static posing him. It just kind of falls off otherwise, but that's okay. So anyway, it's a very nice lightsaber accessory. So when this figure got announced, I really figured that they were going to go the lazy route and give us a new head and then have it just be the normal, number 2 in the line, Vader body, which was just reuse of like a New Hope Vader, which kind of sucked because the articulation on that's kind of bad. But they've actually done a lot more work. So I'll bring in, for a comparison as much as I can, my custom. A shout out to Skywalker Hendricks. He sent me, I believe this was a Syndicate Custom Creations head. And then I took that regular release Vader body and did some modifications to it. Hacked up the chest box a little bit and tattered up the edges of the cape and everything. So I did my best there. And I really figured when they announced this figure, man, they're just going to do a head on it. But they have used different forearms, at least. Probably different arms entirely, because this hand here is kind of like in splayed out force moves, and it goes in and out for wrist articulation. This one is still slightly force splayed, but it goes up and down like for saber posing. He also has butterfly joints, which this Vader does not have. So I believe the legs to be the same, but maybe like the belt, and like the chest armor maybe. No, that's definitely different. So like, they actually used a lot of different stuff on this. We've had a few Vaders in the line now, so I can't source exactly where every piece of this came from, if there's anything new or if they took it from other things. But of course, the chest sculpt has to be new because they've actually sculpted in the slashes there. And then going around back, because Kenobi kind of caught him in the back in that fight, there's a slash in the cape. And then when you flip that up over, there's a slash in the bodysuit, or in the inner cape there. And then if you go look through there, there's actually damage sculpted in to the back of the chest, which is insane. So at the very least, the head and the chest piece are, completely new. They may have reused limbs. But speaking of the head, oh lordy, that is an awesome Vader head, I gotta say. You have the kind of maroon paint, the lens on that side, and then you have the gashed open helmet revealing the absolutely messed up Anakin face inside. It looks awesome. They've applied some really nice like gray and silver paint to the inside of the cut there because it got like slagged open when the saber hit it. And then you have like the layers. You have the outer dome of the helmet, and then the mask inside, and then the actual face all the way in there. He has some absolute eyeshadow going on, and the yellowest Sith eye I've ever seen in the line poking through. But it's actually a full head and under there. Now this helmet is not removable without like ruining the head. I'll try to remember to overlay a photo because someone did take apart the head on this just to see what it is. It is actually a fully painted head on the left side too, behind the eye of the mask, which is awesome. But like, if you look down in there, you can see like the nose and the mouth, and I mean, like, there's a full sculpt in here. It's really cool. It's a lot more effort than I really thought they were going to go through, and honestly, I really dig it. So yeah, this actually impressed me a lot more than I thought it would. Now, of course, when we also got promo photos, and I was like, oh, hey, they did the chest box too. So, I mean, I knew we were getting some change there, but it was first announced via pipeline, and I was like, oh, that's going to be a helmet and nothing new. So I'm really actually overall impressed by the amount of effort that went into this. Something else worth noting, as I said, the cape had the slash in the back. The bottom edge is also tattered, which is awesome, and it's a really cool effect. It's not something that I necessarily caught in the episode, and I guess just to give a funny story, I was going to do a video on making this custom when I was doing it, and my first step was going to be tattering the bottom edge of the cape, which I did, but I was using an X-Acto knife, and so my strategy was lay the cape out on the table, kind of hold it, apart, and then just come in and kind of just aggressively rough the edge of it. And on my very first move, I stuck the X-Acto knife right into my finger. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be a lot easier if I don't have a camera between, me and, and the figure I'm working on. So I ended up scrapping that video idea. And yeah, so there you go. That's a funny hybrid story that probably should have made a blooper reel. But yeah, so like it's got some really cool details in it, everything that you could really ask for this kind of customization. I will say, I understand if it's not an essential figure for you. It's definitely just how Vader looks for like 30 seconds of one episode of Kenobi. But I've always loved the idea of the battle damaged looks for characters. I've always wished that Marvel Legends would do like the end of battle trashed Iron Man armors. I've been wanting the open helmet Vader from Rebels for years, and this is basically, I think, all we're ever going to get in that vein. I don't think we're ever going to get the Rebels version, even though they could just, because I'm sure this is a digital sculpt for the helmet, they could just mirror it because Ahsoka cut the left side, not the right. Like, I think the sculpt could be digitally flipped and then redone, and it would be fine. And he doesn't have the chest box damage, so just stick it on the A New Hope body, but whatever. But yeah, this is just an awesome, awesome looking figure. I really love everything about it. Let's run through some articulation. As mentioned, it's got some pretty good stuff going on here. It features the double ball neck system, but of course Vader's helmet is big and bulky, but he can still look that high up, which is pretty good. He can look that far down, which is also pretty good. Got some side-to-side rotation and a lot of pivot. His arms can come up, not quite to a true T-pose, but there is a pretty good butterfly joint in there. It goes 360 degrees at the shoulder, with single jointed elbows that go way past 90 degrees, and then they rotate. 360 on both wrists, with both of them hinging up and down for saber pointing. That is awesome. He features a mid-torso ball joint, which allows him to crunch not much forward, a little bit back, some side-to-side rotation and pivot. His legs kick out not quite to 180 degrees. They can go all the way forward, not much back. There's an upper thigh rotation, double jointed knees, so these are definitely like old A New Hope Vader legs, but double jointed knees. His foot can go way high behind him, and then straightening that back out, the feet can point straight down pretty far forward, and there's a forward facing pin for rocker, allowing you to get some pretty decently wide stances with both feet flat on the floor. To do some size comparisons, here he is next to your standard height Imperial Stormtrooper. This is the Mandalorian packaging one. Here he is next to the recently released Jabeam Obi-Wan's outfit from the final duel. Here he is next to the also released at the same time Target exclusive Commander Appo. And then also here is the SH Figuarts Episode 3 Anakin, as he appears in all the flashbacks in the show, except for the Obi-Wan training one. So yeah, all in all, I think these scale pretty nice together. So to wrap things up, what do I think of the Duels and Darth Vader? I love this figure. I think that it has been executed perfectly. There's not a single thing I would change about it. They have used all the right pieces. They've modified the pieces, in the correct configurations to make it look like the Duels and Vader. The new head sculpt is amazing. I'm happy to retire my custom from the shelf. It was a great placeholder, but this is the Duels and Vader for now on. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. I totally understand if it's not like an essential must-have for the shelf. Like, I get that, it's probably not the Vader to get if you're only going to get one Vader. But if you're going to have multiple Vaders, man, the differences between movies are so minuscule, and this one is just awesome. That head sculpt is amazing, and I just love everything about this. Maybe would have changed the red on the blade to be a slightly brighter red, but otherwise, excellent Vader here. I really like it. I think you'll like it too if you pick it up. Seems to be pretty readily available. It is a Target exclusive, but it's not been hard to find. It seems like Targets everywhere have gotten full shippers of it, and it seems to be pretty easy to get on their website. Of course, I'm saying this on October 1st, day of release, whereas this is probably releasing probably about a week after. But, time will tell on the availability. But if it's like any other Target exclusive ever, it's going to be on clearance for $16 in 4 days. So keep an eye out for it. And, so it's a really cool figure. I recommend it. I think you should have it. So that's where I'm at. Thanks for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, you should like, comment, and subscribe. Do that subscribe thing if you want to be in on that Darth Maul giveaway. And that's it for now. I'll catch you next time. Until then, may the Force be with each and every one of you. Bye.